Hi there, my name is Jesse Pohlman. I'm a science fiction and fantasy author from Long Island, New York. And welcome to the third episode of Untitled Writing Advice, where we're settling into the name because, who needs a name, right? I mean, why don't you name it after nothing? Today's topic is suggested by the Comic Chameleons, my writing group, and it goes a little something like this. What gives a character agency? And that's a really hard question to answer, given that we're making these people up, or animals up, or creatures up, in our own heads, and they dance to our whims, right? So first, what is agency? Agency is defined by Oxford Languages as action or intervention, especially such as to produce a particular effect. In short, it suggests, it's not a strict definition, but it suggests that a person can independently set their goals and make decisions and act on their behalf to further said goals. In other words, can you do things for your long-term goals, short-term goals, whatever those are? I'm almost set of girls, and I'm probably going to do that again, so just be advised on that. See, the thing is, when it comes to writing fiction, we're creating people. So authors have to create the illusion of characters having agency, given that they are figments of our imagination that are fulfilling a plot that we've probably decided well in advance of when we've started writing the book. It's how we convey the characters making their decisions that ultimately determines whether that illusion is successful or not. So remember that for many stories, readers have a perspective that goes inside of some character's head at some point. It could be a single point of view where the reader lives in the character's skull as you've imagined it to be as the author. Or it could be a multiple point of view, third-person perspective story where we get narration from a bunch of different people. We head hop, maybe even. The reader is going to know what's up with the character in most stories, so we need to make the illusion of their agency believable. For example, my cat just came up of her own volition, and I'm going to make it seem like she came up as just part of the plan. She did not. But she's welcome to sit up on my desk as long as she doesn't attack my arms or distract me too heavily. Back to it. How do we make this agency believable? That is what's next in the script. A common solution to this question is to start by considering what information a character has and where they plan to go with that information. Does a character have a good, and let me stress good but not necessarily perfect, reason for believing that their decisions will act in such a way that it furthers their goals? Remember, writing is the act of making decisions. That's a John Adams quote. So take some time and think about what your characters would decide with the information that they have available. And remember, characters won't always have perfect information, and that's fine. Those situations can create compelling storylines. So don't forget to filter this information through the character's present mood and immediate circumstances. It doesn't matter how perfect their information is. If, for instance, they just watched a dear friend of theirs get cut down by our antagonist du jour, it's a Dark Knight. He's trying to rule the kingdom. He's a bad guy. And the character, the protagonist, might flip into a berserk rage even if they know this will give away their allies' positions and put them at risk because of what they just went through. Even if they had perfect information, they may not. They may not know that their friend getting cut down is an illusion spell. They may suspect that. They may know their friend is a magician who can cast an illusion spell, but they might not know that their friend actually got away. We don't know. The character doesn't know. The reader doesn't know at the time that they see this happen. They just see it happen. Now, you can make an argument that this whole scenario, because it's in response to somebody else's actions, the protagonist is reacting to the Dark Knight. It's actually not a great example of agency at all. And the character's goals are being harmed by someone else, and that's causing them to undermine their own intentions. But I disagree. Part of agency is the fact that it requires discipline and resilience in one's choice-making to accomplish. Think about any long-term project that you've ever worked on, be it a school project, a college paper. Maybe it's like writing your first book. And by the way, we talked last episode about first drafts, so if that's you, keep writing it. I'm cheering you on. And leave a comment, let me know how it's going. Speaking of, it takes writing through the less thrilling stuff to get to the more thrilling stuff. That's discipline. It takes writing when you've had a bad day at work. That's resilience. It takes choosing to work on writing is what the script says, but choosing to write over the satisfaction of a good, long blue sky scroll, and that's your choice making. If those things going to the pursuit of getting a story out, imagine what goes into the overall agency issues and question and debate of trying to save a kingdom from a dark night. You might not always be the one making every decision, but your reactions to other people's decisions are still actions, and they're still part of your overall goal pursuits. So now it's time for you to exercise that said agency. Get out there and start writing. Anyhow, I've gone on long enough. If you enjoyed this little bit of advice, please do hit the like button to allegedly, but maybe not according to some comments, help get this video to more people. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I've seen people subscribing. I really do appreciate it from the very bottom of my heart. I am on YouTube as Jesse Pohlman, Blue Sky at jpohlmanwriting.com, and my website is, of course, jpohlmanwriting.com. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Pieces.